All right.
All right.
Hey, folks. Here we are. We have an interesting opportunity because Makun from Japan is here in town. Adam's been on the show before on my Wavefront Media podcast. I don't know if this is a double A or a Wavefront or both. We'll see how many F-bombs get dropped. Yeah. But from Japan, and he's been here for how long now?
He flew in July 14th, but like he lived here for a year before, 6 months in Vancouver and 6 months in Calgary. Yep. That was 2015, maybe something like that. Around 2014, 2015, something like that.
Yeah. So you know each other through karate. Makun's like legit Japanese. Like we're gonna have to try to.
Yeah, no, he'll.
I have to speak at my normal level, and it should be fine.
Yeah, grade 3. So when he, his full name is Masayoshi Nishiuchi. Yeah. So Ma-kun is just like the first portion of like Masayoshi, Ma. And then kun is like, san or like AJ-san, right? Like kun is like the signifies the name at the end of the.
Okay. Yeah. So give us a little bit of backstory on you, Ma-kun. Like where were you born and where'd you grow up and that kind of thing?
My town.
Yeah, like where were you born to? Your like your karate life, a little bit of your. Story.
Yeah, I was born to Japan in Miyazaki. Miyazaki is Kyushu, like
a province, like a region.
It's like Alberta,
maybe more like Rocky View or.
Okay.
Like that, like it's
subsect inside of a
like a prefecture.
Okay.
I started karate 3 years old.
3 years old.
Yeah, and because my parents doing dojo and their national champs.
National champs.
Yeah,
already.
mom and dad, both.
Oh, they're power couple.
So you were introduced to it from like basically birth, then, hey?
Rusty.
When you first you were born into karate, like your karate family, you were born to that.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And did you go to school in what was it?
Miyazaki. Yeah. Where's your like elementary school was in Miyazaki?
Yes.
And then high school was Kobayashi.
High school is Kobayashi, is like a little bit far, and so countryside. The high school is, and my high school is always second, not champ.
Not champions. Yeah, they were like a small little rural high school.
Yeah.
Like it'd be, for people who live in our area, imagine like you were born in Calgary and then you were doing like a school in like almost like a boarding school really in Cremona or something like that.
Okay.
Right? Like out in the
A
little further out than just like your Cochrane Airdrie.
Yeah, we visited it. The first time I went to Japan with him, we visited there, and just like the system is different in Japan for karate. Like you'll have your home dojo. Like he has his dojo in Miyazaki, and he runs that. Like his dad is the head of the dojo, and he's the sensei. Yeah. So he's still like one of the head of their whole style, and then he's one of the instructors, and he teaches in Miyazaki. But when the kids get a certain age, they might go to a middle school for karate or a high school, university, and it's like leagues. And kind of like the U.S. has like swimming teams and things like that. In Japan, they do that, and you train every day. The serious high schools and universities, you'll train every day.
Is it part of like your curriculum, like part of school?
Like karate club in like Kobayashi, is that part of your school? Like it's your...
Like, do you have to take it as a class?
No. It's like your own club.
It's
a
club.
Yeah.
Cool. There was something that came up there. Oh, do you have any siblings? Brother, sister?
How many sisters?
Oh, I have 3 sisters.
Sister,
older sister, me, and young sister. Yeah.
Do they all do karate?
Yeah, like all the times, but still, just me.
You stayed with it. Yeah.
So you started at 3, hey?
Yep.
At 3.
And how old are you now?
Now 36.
36?
Yep.
Just a smooth 33-year career so far.
Wow. So at 3, or in your childhood doing karate, were you looking at the competitive stuff, or was it fun and games?
Were you wanting to compete when you were really young, or just for fun?
Yeah, like I think like kids time is important. Just enjoy and fun. Yeah, like compete is don't care.
Not until you get older.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, like we were talking about the philosophy of it. Like we both agree, like you want to make kids love karate first.
Yeah.
And then all the other stuff can follow, because if you force it early, like they quit. You'll have like an 8-year-old champion, like they're so good, then they quit
Because it's just like it's just a job.
They just reach a certain level, they get pretty good. And I don't know if you noticed, but in the dojo, you'll get one kid who's coming who's really talented, like so good right away, and then they're the first ones that quit, I think.
Yeah.
Were your parents, since they were national champs, did they push you? Were they hard on you, or did they understand that same approach where you build into it slowly?
Yeah. Were your parents like hard training with you when you were young?
Oh yes. So it's so hard every day. Every day, like my parents' training is so hard. Yeah. But it can't be helped.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my mom and dad was so strong. Yeah.
It was like a lot of pressure.
So you're the odd case where you didn't drop out.
Yeah.
You just continued, probably because you're maybe naturally competitive.
Well, so like after he did his mom and dad's training, he went to Kobayashi High School.
Yeah.
Which was like probably, like he said, it wasn't the strongest at that time, but he was strong. And then you went to his business university after that. So like that was like probably some of the hardest training, right?
Yeah.
So it's called Daisho Dai, and it's in Osaka. But like
Daisho Dai. My high school time is like just enjoy karate.
Was still all the way up till then, just fun.
Yeah, and university time super hard. Like training and like sensei. Head coach is always and like some I can't.
Well, like their training was, for example, like when I went there was 4 hours every day,
right?
Every day, and like 40 guys,
and
really hard, intense training,
so hard.
And then one time,
like I was training 11 hours. 11 hours and break one time.
No water,
no wash,
no nothing.
No wash.
How long?
11 hours.
11 hours. Yeah.
One day.
Yeah, one.
So was that like a camp?
No, it was that his sensei was mad.
Yeah, just mad. 11 hours.
Yeah.
11 hours,
and then,
no water, no break.
And like.
Is it like push-ups?
Yeah, push up and like jump and kumite sparring, like
sparring.
And I couldn't drink water, and I tried like here and
off of your gi.
Yeah, it was like the training was just different. And then like if you had an injury, it doesn't matter. You have to fight. If you if you get hit, you got to get up. Like it's crazy. Maybe tell them about how you used to get the black belt, Kurobi.
Oh,
like they go to Korea every year, and it was crazy.
Yeah. It's training was in Korea, and like if I get black belt, have to hit, and if guys hit me, but always like
you had to get up. You had to have spirit. You can't drop your eyes. They were like headbutt, anything.
Yeah.
Any type of thing that it was just fight, like just fight.
Headbutt and elbows, knees.
Even though it was karate.
Well, karate has that in it. Like the sport.
Headbutts and elbows.
Well, yeah, like if in
it's real.
Yeah, like the real karate, like the traditional karate is just anything goes.
Right.
It's just free.
Because it's like a martial art. It's like
so like if you look at all the kata and all that stuff, those movements are the applications to technique. Now, just like every other martial art, they decided to have a sport element.
Right.
And karate has a lot of sport elements. Like there's the WKF, which is like the Olympic style, which is the most popular. But then there's like Kyokushin's like full contact, but you can't punch to the head. There's like full contact kickboxing style of karate. Right. There's like Shobu Ippon, which is like, no gloves, nothing. And just, so there's all these different up to including MMA.
Right.
But, when you do a traditional grading, and depending how strong your association is, it's pretty rough. Like it's like
when you say strong, your association is
there's like health and happiness karate now, where it's just like you're not going to fight, you're not going to do anything. Like you're not going to learn sparring. It's just for fun, and that's okay. Like there's nothing wrong with it. But then there's what he was doing, and other groups like Okinawa has like really strong karate, and it's really it's a lot different than here. Really small dojos and more like personal training kind of, and the senseis are like. A lot of conditioning, the arms and like.
It's real karate, you know.
Yeah, like it's like you would use it on the street, right? Like in an actual fight.
Yeah.
Rather than just like putting rules and limits on, like, you and I are not gonna no nose punches.
Well, they'll try not to. They have a lot of respect. Like the culture in karate is respect culture, and like not to be violent,
right? If
you don't have to be. Like, you know what I mean? Like to really try to avoid fighting if possible. It's trying to be intelligent about it, I guess, right? Like you doing.
I think that like even through wrestling, like I don't think that was naturally like taught to us, but just the process of competing and winning and losing and going through all the hardships, but then proving to yourself you can overcome challenges. I've never had a need ever to actually get in a street fight ever, because usually I'll look at the person and you could see, like back in the gate days, there'll be people that like some of the lacrosse guys are like, who's this little wrestler? I want to fight him. And I'd have guys like legit trying to pick a fight with me. And I would just stand there calm and like, this guy's a loser. It's not worth my time.
Yeah. I think martial arts can make you peaceful,
Yes.
because you learn there's real fighters, and you don't need to do it.
Yeah. So how have you enjoyed your adult karate career?
Karate?
What's karate like now for you? Like, what do you think about karate now? Because like your sensei, no more competing.
You still train with a sensei?
But now I'm enjoying teaching karate for kids. Yeah, and like a lot of my dojo has a lot of kids. Yeah, that.
Do you still compete?
No, just like and
for fun.
Yeah.
He's a competitive karaoke.
I love karaoke.
And so, what have you guys been doing since you've been back in Canada?
What did we do in Canada, like this time?
So nice. And Abura's guys, all guys funny and like, super nice. Yeah, this Abura is like my second town,
Yeah, second home.
Yeah, second home. Yeah.
When we met the first time was Richmond, or did you come to camp first? Remember the first time we met?
Yeah.
Was Calgary camp?
Yeah, Chris.
Oh, yeah. So we had
How old were you guys both?
Like 26 or 27, something like that.
Are you the same age?
I'm 1 year older. Yeah. I'm old man, super old.
Gigi.
Yeah, Gigi's like a slang for grandpa. So we met in a camp. He had a perm, really nice perm.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then
do we have any photos of that?
I maybe I can send you one.
Send me one. So
you can like.
That'll
put
be
it into
the
video.
thumbnail. Will be a perm.
And then we were training, and I was telling him because he was living in Vancouver at the time, and it was a good experience too. But he kind of because he was around a lot of Japanese people in Vancouver, like my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, their first language is Japanese. Right. All the kids spoke Japanese. The dojo, there was a lot of Japanese people there. But Makun was like, we were very similar in that when we would go to a country, we want to be in that culture. Yep. So he wanted to like be around Canadian culture. So I said, hey, why don't you come in like to Alberta and like move, like come to my house. Yeah. So he came in and stayed, and then it's just like, Hidemi spoke Japanese, but everybody else was speaking English.
Sure.
So he came and helped teach at my dojo. We trained together. He actually made the provincial team here in Canada as well. Yeah. Fought at nationals that year, got on the podium. And even though that was like, he had already retired, just came back and trained. And then we had to lose so much weight to get into that 67 kilo division. And like, there's pictures of us then. We're like shredded. Now I'm shredding my clothes. I'm not the same.
But that would be a lot more authentic, like living in your house and stuff than like just staying somewhere in Vancouver.
Well, then he got like my mom. He calls his mom. My mom is his mom. He's like, hi, mom. Yeah. So, and like we made like a really good friendship. And then when he eventually went back to Japan, like we got a really good experience. Got to go to like the best place because of doing karate for so long. He knows people in like every city, and it was a nice experience.
Yeah. Japan is so amazing.
Yeah. The experience in Japan, and
always drinking.
Yeah, always every night, here too. This time it's been crazy. I haven't had this many.
Is there a difference, like when you're going out? I may have asked this already. When you're going out in Japan versus here, are you having like different types of drinks? Or are the drinks about the same?
Yeah,
is it beer?
What do you drink in Japan? Like, what's the most popular drinking?
Shots, in Japan? Sake bomb.
Now it's like highball, like whiskey, a little bit whiskey and bubble water.
Yeah, soda water.
Yeah,
that's popular.
Yeah, popular. It's highball. Japanese say highball.
Yeah.
Canadian highball.
We say highball. Highball too. Yeah.
But highball for like it just means the whiskey version, like that. It's just a specific drink. Where like highball is like a category of drinks here.
It's cocktails essentially.
Cocktail,
and shochu.
Shochu.
Yeah, shochu is Japanese. Not sake.
Not soju. It's shochu is like a Japanese. It's like a clear.
Shochu is like Korean.
Yeah, soju is like the Korean, and it's a little bit sweet. The Japanese one is either made out of rice, potato, or wheat.
Yeah.
Like one of the three, and it's like a cousin to vodka almost, but it's smoother and maybe not quite as strong. It's still strong. It's like a 30%,
30%.
And but it's like it's a nice like summer drink. Like it's really nice. So that
shochu.
Yeah, shochu.
Shochu.
Almost feel is it like 30%
around there? Yeah, you can get it here in Calgary.
Because I think I had received a bottle from Kinjo at some point.
You might have done it.
It's rice, right?
There's rice, potato, or wheat. There's different versions, and like in like Miyazaki, remember the one that you gave us? It's like a blue. Potato, and so there's some that have you just
flavorless, kind of like you said. Like
there's like a flavor to it, but it's like very, very mild. Like you can taste the difference between the different kind of I don't know, the base of whatever they're using for fermentation. So when we go to Japan, it'd be like the first time we went, it was unbelievable. Like I was in pretty good shape then. Like I was doing personal training. I just finished competing. Like I retired. I was like German Open was my last tournament, and then I got to go to Japan, and we did, and like we land, and first thing we get off the plane, and he's like, "Oh, Adam, we're gonna go drinking tonight." And I hadn't slept for 36 hours, so he's like, "Here's an energy drink." Boom, boom, but it was really awesome. We went to like yakiniku, which is like a Japanese barbecue, like maybe one of the best in Tokyo.
Yeah.
And like we're so tired, but like the food is so good. They brought us a cake, like welcome to Canada, and then we went to like all the izakaya and the bars, like just all night.
Izakaya
is like a
Japanese like bar restaurant.
Yeah, kind of like a pub. Like you go and you have a little bit of food and drinking, and like it's like
and then you kind of just bar hop or something.
Yeah, there's a lot. Like you go to a lot of different places every night in Japan, and always finish at karaoke.
Okay, next. Yeah,
we say karaoke here, but it's karaoke. Like that's how you say it. It's not. There's no like e in the middle. Yeah, but it's just how we say it.
I know.
Karaoke.
It's funny because usually you can try and like sound out how to spell something, and I never can with karaoke because I'm just like, what?
Karaoke means empty orchestra. So so that's what it actually means. Like karate is empty hand. Kara, like K-R-A. It means like, at least in this context, means that. Like it might mean other things depending on the kanji they use, but it's empty orchestra. So
I actually didn't know that.
Is that like, I know it's more common there, but is that like how common is it to be doing karaoke every night?
Well,
when you go out, is that like a common thing for a lot of different groups?
It's popular. Karaoke is popular.
Yeah, popular
every day, every night.
Yeah, people go out and do that.
And how does it? How are some of the interiors look like? Is it kind of similar to what we did at Galaxy?
Yeah, like
karaoke.
Like Japan's karaoke is similar to the other night. You
Yeah,
know,
yes,
just
yes.
rooms.
Yeah, and Japan has a lot of karaoke house.
Yeah.
There's lots of them.
Yeah.
So do you go to the same one or do you go to a different one?
Sometimes here, sometimes here.
Yeah.
Like,
There's just different. There's so much variety. Like a lot of places to go.
Yeah.
In Japan, if you want to eat, like there's so many places to eat. Like there's just like every night we would go out. We can go to a different like ramen shop or a different sushi or like just different places every night. And the food's cheaper there than it is here, like a lot cheaper.
Really?
It's crazy. Like the difference in price is a lot.
Yeah.
Like
What
they
is
have
it-
expensive restaurants, but you can get good food for cheap there.
What about the cost of like the dojo training? Like
I don't know.
what you charge here versus what you charge in?
Like how like dojo training is like how much like expensive? It's
Some dojo is so cheap. Yeah, some dojo is free. Yeah, sometimes free. Sometimes some dojo is maybe 1 month, $100.
so similar to here, like
Yeah.
depending on
Yeah.
what the dojo's like or the focus and who the sensei is, and there's a lot of variety in that way.
How do you have a free dojo? Like how do they make money from competition?
Yeah, just free is just I don't know, like maybe free dojos want to just fun.
Fun.
Yeah, like a
and-
fun, like a club, like
Yeah.
Or like maybe they have a
Looks like
Volunteer.
volunteer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
volunteer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people just come volunteer to train and then other people can come
Yeah.
for free.
it's like a karate culture, or maybe like that. Sometimes like that dojo could have like a lineage of people, and they've always done that, and it's like a community group,
Speaking
and
of-
somebody else takes it over, right?
Speaking of lineage, did your grandparents, were they karate champions as well, or
Grandpa?
Was your grandpa karate too?
No.
No, just
Just
your
my
parent.
mom and dad. Yeah.
and you take over the dojo now?
Yeah. I'm helping my dad.
Do you have to deal with all the business side of it?
My business.
Do you do the karate dojo's business? You do the karate business, or your dad still doing the business?
Oh, like same my dad, and I'm helping, and I'm started my looks like dojo and kids gym, like kids.
Your own?
Yeah,
Separate?
yeah, separate,
Yeah.
but not separate. Like
Yeah.
'Cause he-
Like
yeah.
It's like a
Yeah.
sister
Yeah.
company
Yeah,
or something.
like a
Yeah.
So, because he has two other businesses, he has like the fitness gym, and then he also does like Arawaza, like which is the most
Japan,
popular in the world. It's the most popular gi company, but in Japan, it's like now it's popular, but it's growing because
Yeah.
Japan has their own brands, right?
in the world.
Yeah, this is
And this is your company?
no, this is Canada.
Canada,
There's a guy from Romania, moved to Canada. He started Arawaza, and like it's the biggest brand in the world now. Like it's
Really? And you work for them?
yeah,
With
like
them?
I'm started Alawas Japan.
like he does the Japan branch, right?
Like franchise
yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That keeps you busy then.
Yeah.
So you run that, the fitness and the dojo
and dojo and like,
karaoke.
no yeah and like turtle.
Yeah, his hobby is collecting
Yeah.
turtles. Like he has a bunch of big, like those huge tortoises. Like he has a bunch.
Really?
Of those.
I have maybe 150 turtles.
Yeah.
Tortoise.
So how do you have like a room?
No, like my house is
outside?
veranda.
Yeah, so like the big ones are up on the balcony, and then there's like beside the dojo, there's like a
Big pond.
pond.
Yeah,
space.
pond. Yeah.
What's the little outside like zoo?
And they just
almost?
like, do you have like little like rocks and bridges and stuff, and they just like
Yeah, well,
trek around on them,
he,
or what?
he has like an Instagram page for his turtles, and one of the videos is of the turtle taking a dump, and it's 25 million views.
Oh man, you gotta give us a
I'll send you
give
the
us
link.
that.
25 million.
It's the most viewed turtle video on Instagram
Yeah.
or something like
Yeah,
that. It's
we'll-
Number one.
number
We'll
one,
pull that up here. and
I'll still
Yeah.
need to
show.
get you on Instagram. I don't think I have.
Yeah.
any of that.
Yeah, I'll send you all of
Yeah,
his.
turtle makun. Yeah.
Turtle Mac.
Turtle makun.
Yeah, turtle mock.
That makes sense.
So funny.
So did you, when you were younger, did you watch Ninja Turtles? Was there any
Yeah,
connection
yeah.
there?
I love Ninja Turtle.
He's got a keychain with Leonardo.
When-
Yeah, still, yeah.
How old when you got your first turtle?
Like when I was maybe 4-3, I bought a first like turtle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and still
He's alive.
He's alive. Yeah.
So karate and turtles, and then just
No, turtles first. Turtle, then karate. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I love turtle.
yeah, that's great. That's cool that that one that you bought is still alive too.
They'll live 150 years.
Yeah, it's not like getting a dog, you know. It's like
the turtle gets you rather
Yeah.
than you getting the turtle.
Yeah, that thing will outlive the human. That's
No, I remember my first human.
that's a funny.
Maybe your turtle will have like 3 humans, different, different.
Your kids? Will you have
Yeah.
kids?
I don't have kids.
Do you want to have kid?
Do you want to have kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want
Yeah, one day.
What about a lady?
one day. Yeah.
Are you taken?
Do you have a girlfriend right now?
This is a sensitive
Yeah,
topic.
we'll just pass. I
just
plead the
pass.
fifth.
Next question.
Next, great question.
Yeah,
Next
good,
question.
good.
Great question. Next question. Yeah. I'm sorry, we're having audio.
Yeah,
technical
audio. Yeah, microphone doesn't work.
No, that's good. So.
But but Mia's like really. When you go to Mia's, like if you go to Japan, we went back to the story we had. We had like went to Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, Fukuoka, like all these big cities in Japan, and they're all awesome. They have so many different things to have. But like when I went to Miyazaki, that was the first time I got to go to like, it's just, well, for them, it's a smaller city, but it's like probably the size of Calgary population wise.
Okay, this is Miyazaki.
Miyazaki City, and then Miyazaki is in Miyazaki Prefecture, which is in like the province of Kyushu. Like that's how.
Okay.
it would
So
break down.
Kyushu would be Alberta.
Yeah, and then
Miyazaki would
be a
be-
region, and then
Yeah.
Miyazaki
Be
City.
like- yeah.
But like there's the ocean there. There's like rivers and mountains, and it's just a beautiful place.
Really?
It slows down. Like when you're in Tokyo or like Osaka or any of those places, it's so fast. Like the pace is just like, it's, especially where you're from Canada and you're used to so much space.
Yeah.
And suddenly it's like, oh, like it's intense. It's like probably New York, and although they have a lot of similarities, the biggest cities. But when I got to go there, you got to really feel what it's like in Japan. You get up and you're not like rushing to go do a bunch
It's
of
the
things.
same kind of thing. Like you coming to stay with Adam is more like authentic.
Yeah, like I
Canadian
learned more
experience.
about Japanese culture in Miyazaki.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
The
What is the population there?
of Japan,
Miyazaki.
Miyazaki. I think when I looked it up, it's somewhere around 1 million people.
1.2. I think that's what
I don't
Calgary
know.
is.
Yeah, I looked it up when I was staying there. It could be bigger now.
So it's almost like Calgary.
Yeah, it's pretty similar to the Calgary population, but yeah, but like whenever you go to Japan, you should do the big city stuff too, because it's like Tokyo's definitely so fun, and there's lots of
It's
stuff
like
to do. But
it's like say you had a week. How would you split that up? If you're going to go to Japan, you're going to give somebody advice like
I would ask the person first, like if you're going to Japan, like what do you want to do? Like if you're like, I want to see.
eat, sightsee, and experience.
Yeah,
the
if you're going
culture.
to sightsee and you're only there for a week, it's probably better you get like there's a rail card, like
Yeah.
Shinkansen rail card, like the bullet train, and for 7 days you can use it unlimited times.
Really?
And so then you could go to city to city to city.
Can you get like from Tokyo to Miyazaki?
You get close. Like in the Shinkansen stops before, and then you take a bus to
Yes,
Miyazaki.
yes.
Yeah, so you get close
Does
to
the
it.
card work for the bus too, or just the trains?
I think it's it's a. Well, it depends. Like there's
Different.
companies, right? Like it'd be like Air Canada, so you buy one for the main JR line, and then you can go a lot of places.
But maybe you just pay the individual fee for the bus to get down there.
Yeah, and it's that if you're going for a week, that's what you do. Like we do that. We usually go for 3 weeks. So for the first week, especially when I go with my wife, we'll kind of sightsee really quick, go around to a few big cities, and then we'll go to closer to where her, like her grandparents and aunts and uncles are. And then, but now if I went to Japan, like if I'm doing a Japan trip by myself, I would just go straight to Miyazaki.
But you've gone and you've
Yeah,
seen a lot of the sites, so you're like
Yeah.
now it's just about going and hang out with you and go to the places that.
Yeah, I like to relax, and it's a different feeling for me now going than it was the first time where you're like, oh, I got to see everything.
Right.
And it's still like the stuff it's an ancient country. Like Japan has like really old like castles and temples and
not like Calgary, right?
Oh man, everything's
like,
brand new.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a different, and Japan's a first world country, right? So like they have a big economy and like everything we'd have here.
Modern technology,
so everything. So they
medicine.
they don't need English people. Do you know what I mean? Like where you go to, like for example, when you go to Mexico, everybody tries to speak English to you.
Because it's more tourism based than
in Japan. That's not necessarily the case. Like bigger cities, you're probably okay. But when I go to Miyazaki, a lot of guys can't speak English. Just Makun. And
how good are you at Japanese?
Oh, like terrible. Like like a 2-year-old, maybe. I'm like I can ask for a drink. I can listen and hear more now because my kid's learning Japanese. But
Makun, you're pretty good at English.
Yeah,
he's pretty bad at Japanese.
No, but he can actually speak English, especially now. If you talk, you have Google Translate for a couple difficult words. You can talk about anything now.
Yeah. I want to ask about. Do you go to the Osaka street markets, the night markets?
Osaka street market. Osaka's market. Yeah.
Yeah, what's that like? I just know through my one client, Kenjo.
Oh,
they're trying to replicate that street market at the.
Can I Joe Rogan it and just go to the bathroom?
No, you have to stay here.
Okay. Cool.
No, I'm just joking.
I'm just gonna pee my pants. I'll be right back. You guys can.
Yeah.
Quiz him.
Okay. So do you go out to the street markets ever in Osaka, and what's that experience like? How is it at the street market?
How Osaka's street market? Yeah, it's Osaka's people is all guys so funny and fun and talking is good, smiling nice, and Osaka people loves talking. Yeah, and all guys.
Do you go to Osaka often?
Often?
Like regularly? Often, like
because my university is Osaka.
Okay.
Yeah, and my friend, Osaka has
lots of friends.
A lot of friends. And super nice. In Minami, Osaka's town's name Minami. Minami is number. Number is like a station's name.
Okay.
Yeah, and
And so you go up there once a month. You go up like one time per month or like 2 months?
Like couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks?
Yeah.
On your own? Or, because you're, do you go with friends?
Yeah, yes. And sometimes I go to my university.
Yeah.
And after it's always drinking.
Yeah. In Osaka, always drinking?
Yep.
And you take the bullet train, hey?
Shinkansen.
Oh, Shinkansen? Yes.
Yes, Shinkansen.
Yes.
That's what we
That's
were
one of my
say.
7 Japanese words I know. Biru o kudasai.
Yes.
Beer, please.
I should have been able to guess that one.
Yeah. And shochu.
Yeah, shochu.
We had some of the craziest nights I can ever almost remember in Japan because whenever we're going everywhere, he's got 20 friends that are coming, and they do drinking calls in Japan. Like when you're drinking, if you're really partying, they'll call your name and then they start doing a chant. It's almost like chug, 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 like what we do here, but it's like a song. So you're just minding your business and they're like, Adam, nonde, and then
Muri wa shochi. Yeah.
Nonde. And you're drinking. You have to pause at a certain part in the song and then just keep going.
Really? Is it like sculling? Like you got to be like.
Yeah, you try to drink it with the song. You finish when the song's done.
Is it a magic trick essentially? Like you have to have the drink finished by the end of the song.
Oh, you just got to. It's just your normal peer pressure. I think it amplifies in another country. I'm representing my country right now. I have to drink. You're in Japan. I'm okay. Oh, Canada. You just have to you actually have to drink it. And then, every 10 years, that's harder to do. You know what I mean?
Once you stack another decade on it.
Oh my gosh. Because I was just trying to think of we went to Kumamoto, which is a smaller town in Kyushu. That's where my mother-in-law is from, is Kumamoto. And they have, you might have seen, there's a famous, you probably, I'll show you after, Kumamo, which is it's like a bear. Kuma means bear. they have like a famous character from the city, and I'll guarantee you've probably seen it.
Right.
I'll show you a picture after, you can put that up. But we went to a championships there, Kyushu championships, and the night after when we went out drinking was like it was crazy.
What is a Kyushu?
Kyushu is like they're the regional championships.
Oh right.
Kyushu
is the province.
And like the level is just incredibly high in Japan. Like it's like hockey here. Like the
everything
level.
is martial arts there more so.
Yeah,
hey?
and the karate tournaments are just super high level. The refereeing is very good, and like it's just very everything's professional.
Do they have like wrestling in?
Oh yeah,
Japan?
Wrestling. Yeah, rugby. Like there's
just not as
strong team.
not as big.
No, those will all be big because they have clubs in every school, and you could like maybe you want to be a wrestler, so you'll like write your high school entrance exam for that school,
right,
to be on that wrestling team.
Did you ever go to other countries for wrestling?
I have not been to Japan. I've been to Cuba and Arizona for wrestling. My experience with Japanese wrestlers is high school level. Up to high school, they're better. They're further ahead. Like they're more flowy. They have better technique. We're just trying to grab and stuff. And after university, we start catching up.
Yeah. And
then at Olympic level, then it's like, someone like the States, then they just far go past Japan. But we found, because there was, it was at Lindsay Park. It's called the Stu Hart Invitational. Yeah. And there's a team from Japan that came in, right? And I lost a few Japanese wrestlers back in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like there's a cultural difference in Japan where the kids, like they have to focus. They have to listen. So when you're teaching a kids class in Japan, like it's like line up, perfect.
Like fast.
Oh, it's
not like keep playing for 20 minutes when I'll just wait for you to eventually leave.
But because I've coached a long time in Canada, I know like it's like you can't force the kids here to like that's why I said you have to just make them love it. And then as they develop, a lot of times they'll get to purple or brown belt level here in Canada, and then they start being serious.
Right.
And then they level up. And then they get a lot better, and that's with almost all of our sports.
What do you notice for focus, like how when you're training kids nowadays, like because you do have to kind of get them to. Oh yeah, like
as far as Canada goes, my kids are pretty focused, but it's because I focus on that first. So when I start a new class, like in September, a lot of new kids are coming. For weeks, it's about lining up fast. Like I won't like make the whole class about that,
right?
But like every time I get them to line up, I get them to line up. Then I show them this is the line. Then I go, okay, run to that corner, go fast. And then okay, 5 seconds to line up, go 5, 4, and they don't do it. Then we all do push-ups together. We all do something. And I'll do it with them too, right? And then okay, boom, then back into, and then go to this corner, go to that. So because it takes a while for the first few weeks, but it saves you time later.
You're just trying to build the muscle memory in them and get them to understand.
It's difficult, like when you're like if you're teaching a class, you have 1 hour, and it takes them 5 minutes to line up every time you reform them.
Right.
Because in karate, you'll do some basics, you do some kata, you do some sparring, and there's all different places you line up. Like if you're lining up with partners, you got to line up a certain spot. If you're lining up doing individual drills, you're in a certain spot.
Right.
And so if that takes 5 minutes each time, that's 15 minutes your class going.
Yeah, or I've seen you like when you have the kids come and hit the dummy and you're at the end.
Yeah, that's so but in Japan, like the kids are really focused. Like they're like,
is it the same? Like so when you're starting to train kids, what is the first thing that you guys work on?
Like what's your first thing you do with training with kids? The first thing you do.
First, like, thank you and like bar and onegai shimasu and please.
Please,
yeah.
Manners.
Say manner, yeah. Thank you, yeah. Goodbye, sensei. Blah blah blah. And for if I'm teacher,
yeah.
And if I talking, have to watch my eyes, yeah. Always have to, and because when I'm talking about karate, blah blah blah, and kids,
you want them listening to you, right?
First, listen and watch my eyes, each other, and that's it.
That's so like you guys start with like please, thank you, manners, and then looking at me while I'm speaking to you, and you're like Get your
Well,
shit
we
together.
do that stuff too, but it's like
course.
when you're doing karate in Canada, it's like a cultural experience. Like I'm not Japanese.
Right.
So when you do karate in Canada, there's a mixing, like karate in Canada or Japan and Canada mix.
Because karate's not native to Canada.
Yeah, but when you're doing but there is like things that in every country for karate you're supposed to do. Like you should be cleaning up at your dojo. You should be like bowing and
because that's
like
when you come on and off the mat, right?
Before and after everything, you're always bowing, which is like a sign of respect.
Right.
Like it's like not only just respect of like, senior to junior, junior to senior peers. I respect the facility that you're part of. Respect like that. That's the most important. And again, with like Canadian kids they start differently. So you're starting at like maybe this point instead of this point, and you're trying to work up too. But
it's almost because of those like the basic manners.
Yeah.
Are kind of hit home earlier, like focus, eye contact. Listen,
I know Japan.
In Japan, it seems like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
When I was a kid, it's just little jelly bean whack job, just ADD, no focus, crying. Well, no eye contact.
Well, you have to front load that stuff, and then you like since COVID, like I had to restart my kids program pretty much.
Almost like hit the basics. Always hammer the basics.
Hammer the basics. So, what kind of things, being teachers, do you notice like your kids do better in academics when they do martial arts versus kids that don't? Or like, have you noticed anything like that?
Do you think like kids who do karate training have like better school, better focus? Do you think?
Yeah.
Kids doing karate, they have better focus than other kids.
Yeah, like
or is it more discipline maybe? Like
grow up. Like
if they're growing up and they're training karate, they have more respect, more focus. Better school. Do you think?
Yes.
So it translates out because like once you learn that from your teachers in the karate dojo, you sort of just naturally take that out into the everyday life.
Does the karate training like help them for life? Like their life skills.
How?
Like for example, like in Canada, when the kids are coming to karate training, they learn to focus better than other kids, and they're always like the parents always tell me, oh, now their school is like better school. Do you think the same in Japan?
Yeah, same. Yeah. I think so.
Because you see it, and your kids' parents are telling you, hey,
like it's every time. And then the biggest thing here, like in Japan, they still have like good physical fitness programs in school. Like their gym
phys ed or
is
whatever.
way better. Like here, the problem is that like the level, like okay, when I started helping coaching when I was 14.
Right.
Okay, so you had 10 kids come into the dojo. 8 out of 10 of them could do a somersault, could do like these basic things. Now it's 2 out of 10.
Now?
And that's like, I guess it's 20 years later, but that's not that long.
No.
In the scheme of things. So no kids, unless they're very natural, can't even touch their toes, can't do one push-up, can't do one somersault. I have to, like karate training is second for me when kids are starting now. Normally I'm doing like ladders and running and stretching.
You're like getting athleticism,
just a general athleticism. They're doing karate right away too. But I know that if I do more of that, they're going to learn other things easier because
it's body movement.
They have to have that body awareness. They don't have any of it.
If they can do that, they'll, like you say, you're going to make it more fun for them because they won't feel like I can't do this. I'm having trouble doing this.
Well, and that's where their parents will say like right away. That's the first thing they'll notice. They start doing better in gym class. All their sports improve, and then you learn the lesson one way or another. Like I learned it late that like when I would train in karate, it's like studying. Oh man, I did a lot of training and I got a better outcome.
Right.
Imagine if I did that for math. Like it's just a life lesson. You know what I mean? Right. Of like if you put something into something, you get something back.
Right.
Right. So like when the kids start training karate and maybe they win a medal or they get a new belt, they go, oh, okay, maybe if I'm at school and I practice more in my school, my grade's going to go up. So
And I've learned that too through wrestling. And when I was younger, like my dad was a gym teacher, right? So he understood the importance of sports and being competitive, right? So always at an early age, he had me. I wouldn't say he forced me into wrestling, but it was like soccer was the thing I liked, right? So I was competing in soccer, right? And then he slowly started pushing me into wrestling.
Enough of that.
But enough of that soft shit. No, I learned that looking back through that process and thinking about if I had kids, I think like when we're talking about basics and fundamentals,
right? I
think competition in any type of sport is incredibly powerful. To me, it's almost like a basic need: food, water, shelter, competition, because you're going to get tossed into our society, right, which is going to be rough and tough, and you have to learn that at an early age. Mm-hmm. Now, it's like you can do it in soccer or hockey, but why I would push my kids towards, if I had kids, I would push them towards some form of combative sport, or at least attempt it, because the difference is like one teaches teamwork, one is self-responsibility.
And then there's also still a team around you. Even though it's individual, I find like how close you are with your team in like karate or wrestling is like you're really close. Yeah. Because you're just going through something individually but together.
Doing it as a team. Yeah. But then one of the lessons is it's like when you are on the corner of the mat and you're next, you have to rely on yourself. Yeah. The coach is there, the team's there, but that's when you have to show up, right? Yeah. For me, that's helped go into anything I've done, right? Because you just learned that, the test is coming up, right? In university, test coming up. It's me now. I have to compete. There's a mindset part where you have to go in as not as like there's going to be nerves that come up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But learning how to deal with those nerves, like naturally, I would get so nervous during wrestling, like, and I almost quit a few times because of that. But the fact that you push through, and then you have like a dad and a team that kind of supports you through, that was so powerful to learn how to just deal with those emotions, because they're going to come up in life regardless of whether you want it to or not. Yeah. So why not just put yourself into that controlled test environment?
When you were competing, did you get nervous a lot, like really nervous?
Yeah. Like kids time is always nervous. I had stomach ache.
Yeah.
And like because my parents a lot of pressure to me and
to win.
And kids times I hated karate because I want to enjoy. But my parents is like head like a boss. Yeah. And I couldn't. And now I want to hop. I enjoy karate to kids.
Yeah, you want the kids to have a nice experience.
Yeah.
But like high school, were you nervous high school too? Like when you're doing competition?
Yeah, a little bit high school times, because like high school time is my school teacher. Yeah. School teacher taught me. Yeah. And like, it was fun. But university times so different, so hard. My university is maybe most hardest
training.
Training. So really.
What's like best advice you got?
Like I think kids time is most important. Enjoy karate because like kids, if some kids like so heavy, some kids is so light, some kids so strong, some kids is so weak, so all kids different. Yeah. Not fair, you know. Yeah, just enjoy. But if grow up, maybe high school times, university times, like men have a lot of muscle and tall high.
Yes, tall.
Yeah, tall. And I think it's have to start like hard training.
Hard training, yeah. So when you're in like high school, university, you got to do hard training. And you said like you weren't that nervous in your university time because the training was so hard.
Yeah.
That maybe competition was easy because training was so hard.
Yeah. But like competition is like if I'm so strong, but sometimes I'm lose.
Yeah.
You know, like God, like can choose win or lose. You know, and like if when I was university times, if I lose, like maybe 5 hours, training, 1 hour push up.
Oh wow!
So it was so hard.
So if you lose,
you have to do
next
5 hours.
training was
like because my university was so strong and like the culture, you know.
Yeah,
like,
the culture.
Yeah,
it's like when I went to his university, it's like it'd be similar to SAIT. It's a business or a technical school, and like in the back, you go up to where their dojo is, and it's like, maybe 1.5 tatamis size. Yeah. So it's like tatami and the mat in karate is 10 meters by 10 meters. So it's probably like 10 meters by 15 meters. This place
kind of like
his was bigger. It's bigger than mine. Okay. But yeah, it's like similar in that way. And then you're in there and the training is really hard. There's a lot of really good guys there. They have like a drum in the corner. Boom, boom.
Taiko, Japanese.
Yeah, when they're sparring and like one guy's on there just it's kind of like this like weird intensity. And then there it was really intense. Like we got to go to like 3 of the strongest universities when I was there. I went to Teikyo, I went to Daishodai, I went to Kindai. Kindai's the Osaka like big university. Their sister school is the UFC, funny enough.
Oh really?
So yeah, they have like English Village and like there's a transfer program there and all that.
Cool.
So but they all had like really different training, but like Daishodai, where his university was like just go the whole time, just like you're hitting pads and you jump rope and then you're doing line drills and then you're sparring and it was just like 4 hours. I was like, holy moly. Like it's different because it's something you do every day.
So it's like just by doing the reps, it becomes like 4 hours doesn't. It's like you're like this is just another day.
Well, it's just the average level in Japan. The average level is so high
because of that.
Yeah. So like here in Canada, there's some really nice champions. Like there's some good guys, but the 2nd and 3rd and 4th place, there's a big
gap there,
right? Where in Japan, maybe if you take like the 7th place. You know, in Japan, like say minus 75 kilos, you take 5th place and he goes to the world championships, he's still going to do good.
Yeah.
Like he's still going to do really good. So
is the first place like in Canada, would that be like that person just puts in extra time, more time than normal? Or?
Yeah, time and talent and experience. You know, it's the same things here. But yeah, like the pool's just deeper. And so you just it's harder to like.
Well, and I guess in the culture over there, martial arts has been like part of your culture for a long time, whereas Canada, it's like
martial arts is part of Japan's culture. You know, martial arts training is as part of Japan culture.
Everyone, everyone.
No, but like spirit.
Yeah,
spirit is like not like all guys doing martial arts, but spirit. Yeah, I think all Japanese has.
Yeah,
right. That
maybe
makes sense.
I hope so.
Yeah,
because recently it's like like no man is like not strong. Just like maybe.
Yeah, just talking. Yeah, the difference he was saying with his university black belt test now, right? They can't do that anymore. Like what they put those guys through, it's not. You can't do it. They got rid of that style of training. And there's good things about that. Like sometimes like before, you know, coaches could hit the athlete, like things like that. That's not there anymore. And that's probably a good thing. But sometimes you look, it's like what's lost from that toughness training. Like what, you know, you can't replicate it with just, you know, tactics and so when you do a hard training together with friends, like really hard training, like it changes you.
Yeah.
You become a different person, just because you learn that you can do it, right? Like you didn't think you could do it, and then you do an 11-hour training. Like I wouldn't. You would never want to do it again. But because you did it, it was a good experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've had here's a funny example. I've had just like through one practice at the University of Calgary, it changed my outlook on life forever. Just this one experience, right? So we were doing this Shark Tank, right? So it'd be one guy in the middle. You'd go against two. You'd rotate. Or I guess depending how many people are in the middle, there'd be in your group, whether it's 2 or 4 people, you do Shark Tank, right?
Yeah.
So we went till the end of the practice, and we're all laying on the ground like we're dead, right? We can't do it. And the coach was like, all right, guys, everyone up, half an hour more of Shark Tank. And we're like, what do you mean? We're dead. He's like, he taught us this lesson. He was just like, can you stand up right now? We're like, okay, yeah, I can stand up. Can you get in a wrestling stance? Like, yes. Okay, so you can wrestle one more go then, right?
Yeah.
We're like, okay. And then you do it, and you realize what you learned there was it wasn't the body holding you back. It was the mind holding
your brain.
It was the mind, right? And that I've carried that with me forever because there's even Goggins has the 80-20 rule, or is a rule where it's like when you think you're completely tired, you're just actually just getting started, and it's the mind.
Yeah.
That it's legit just the mind. The body can keep going for sure. And in fact, you're almost scratching the surface.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. That's almost where it gets good. You're saying the other day at the color belt test, we had like spirit, technique, and body. What's the word?
Oh, yeah. Shin, gi, tai. Shin means like a split. Gi is technique. Tai is body. And always first, split. Second, gi is technique. Third is body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's the order. You like spirit is first. Like the other stuff, your will to win, your will to do it. If that's not in the front, somebody's gonna always beat you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your technique is like, because the most times when people fail a black belt test, like one of my black belt tests, is because their spirit failed and they're just like they're done. Like I tell my students, just give me a point in the test where you're like, is it worth it? And you're gonna like if you don't feel like, oh, it's not worth it, I'm going to give up. Okay, then you've given up. Now you're going to fail, because usually when you put somebody in a black belt test, they've got all the criteria on paper, which is why I'm actually a fan of tests. Like a lot of dojo, like, well, they're just going to give you your belt, and I actually think that's okay.
Based on time or something?
Well, no, it's just like the sensei will be like, oh, AJ's ready. He's got all the requirements, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like some people think, oh, that's better, and testing's like phony or whatever. But there's that like trial by fire type of thing where you just do it. You were with your group and you went through the test. And that's what it's meant to be. It's not meant to be like a money grab or anything like that. You want the kids, the adults, the athletes after the test to feel like they changed.
And to feel like they accomplished it. Like, I did the test, I passed the test, I got the achievement kind of thing.
Yeah, always before our black belt, like my black belt test, before they send them to my sensei, we'll do like a just a straight hour of sparring. And they have to spar the more senior people. And like, you know, like the last time we did that with this group coming that just got their black belts 2 days ago, we had a black belt yesterday. 2 days? What's the date today?
Friday.
Oh, so Wednesday. Wednesday we had a black belt test. And we started with the hardest thing in the morning. Because in a sport, you wouldn't do that. You're like, well, what if they roll their ankle and then they can't? You know what I mean? You're saving them for the competition. But for a black belt test, that doesn't matter. Like, I don't care if you're like have to drag yourself in and you can barely move. That doesn't matter. It's that like your spirit's because I can teach you technique. I can make you stronger, but you have to have good spirit, or it's just not. You'll quit. You just won't do it.
So, Makun, I have a question. Do you think spirit, is it natural, or is there stuff people can do to make their spirit stronger?
Yes. It's hard question. Like some guys are like from first. Yeah. Strong spirits. Some guys like spirit is not strong. Mm-hmm. I think not strong. Like just never give up. You know, looks like and like. But I think experience makes strong spirits. But It's little by little.
Little by little.
Yeah.
But sometimes like people have a big change.
Yeah.
He was fighting one of my black belt guys, Tim,
Yeah.
when he was a long time ago. And
Yeah.
they were sparring and he got to him, bang, and he was so winded.
Tim got
one of my
got Tim.
And he was so winded, and he was like he was like, you know, a teenager, just kind of crying a little bit, and he was like, "Hey, come on, you can do it!" And he just got up and like started fighting and went back 100%. And literally the next day, he was a different guy. Like it just changed him, like because he was like got like really hit the first time, like really hit
and like
to the body, but
where
he
your
just
mind
was down.
would be like, I don't want to go.
Well, immediately it's like I gotta quit. This is too much. I can't do it. And then the second he got in and just kept fighting, realized, oh, I'm stronger than I thought I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some people just need that real world example.
It's like a light switch,
Yeah,
right?
and other people, it's just like, yeah, like he said, like little bit by little bit, you're training, and then, oh, now I can do this, now I can do that, and then one day you're gonna, you know, it's gradual, then all at once, right? You kind of.
So I think that is like that's just experience, like by going through experience, a lot of experience, you're gonna go through a lot of different situations, a lot of lessons that can help add to your spirit, build spirit through experience. It can either make you or break you, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. But every you know, coach, and you've probably coached something in your life too, but like a lot of coaches, they make the mistake, they're looking for that talented athlete. They consider talent to be
right.
It's usually physical. You'll see a kid come in who's like the full splits, they can kick, they're fast, and then you kind of get almost in that trap. It's a trap every time. You're like, ooh, this kid's really good. But like, if they don't have the right spirit, they're just going to quit.
That's why spirit, technique, then body, because
you can teach all that stuff, but you just, the spirit of like somebody who shows up all the time, who's always helping and always working hard and always doing, like, you know that they're going to get farther eventually. It's just when.
Yeah.
But like some of the best, most talented people, the first time they lose, I'm done. Or maybe they win so much, they're in an area with not as many good people.
Yeah.
Alberta, this happens a lot with karate. You'll have a kid who's so talented, they'll win. They go, I'm good enough. They quit because they weren't tested enough.
Right. Or they just take their foot off the gas pedal and then they go and they lose because they're like used to just everything being too easy.
Yeah. So it's like, it's the spirit. That's where you see like Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson,
any of the great
all these great people. They had talent and they had they're like it doesn't matter who you are, they're gonna win. They're gonna find a way to do that. Wow. They're real, like they're like combat sports. Martial art just like military art. They're just their brain is built differently,
right? And
they're gonna do it. Yeah, they're gonna do it.
That's like I love watching combatives like wrestling, boxing. MMA, UFC, and I always like analyzing, like, what is the common denominator of winners? Yeah, right. I'll look at someone like Jordan Burroughs. He's been just killing it in wrestling. I think he might be close to retirement. Yeah, right. But when I watch him, I'm like, okay, there's nothing actually too special about his technique. Like, it's good. Like, it's really good. It's really sharp. Mm-hmm. But what I always notice is this is what happens. He'll be like, it'll be a match and they're always super close. And this last minute, he gets that magical shot and he just steals it right at the end. And I see this happen all the time with him. I'm like, man, that's not technical. There's spirit there. There is this guy that he's going till the very last second, and mentally he's not even thinking about quitting at all. He's like, no, I'm going to always find a way to win. And I've seen, it's like magical when you watch this. It's a very close match. He might even be losing. But you always know at that last minute, he's gonna make sure he wins, and it's like insane to watch how that spirit can kind of guide you through to get that last minute win. It's crazy to see.
When you guys are competing, do you, like in karate, do you guys look at the scoreboard, or like how do they track the points and stuff? Because I've seen sometimes when you're doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or even in MMA, like you see the guys like look up at the clock and they look to see like how they're doing, because I know in some sports they'll show you the points to see so that you can tell if you're leading or not.
So when you're doing competition, when you're fighting, were you thinking like, scoreboard, or were you thinking just opponent, or listening to coach? Like what did you think when you were fighting back? What was in your brain? What were you thinking?
Just after parties.
After where are we drinking after?
Almost done.
Yeah. If I get the gold medal, maybe tonight is nice time.
Yeah.
So you just focus on getting the gold
He's like
medal.
Conor McGregor. Maybe he's thinking like Conor McGregor.
I love him. Yeah.
No, for me, I was. I always like kind of got in my head a lot. Like I was very strategic, and then the best of those days, like I tried to, like I'm an excitable guy in my normal life, so I'd always try to calm down when I competed.
Right.
Later, once I learned, I went through a lot of iterations of like, okay, maybe I need to pump up, maybe I need to do this. But I found eventually, if I'm calm and I can get the noise out, then those are my best fights.
Do they show you the points? How is it?
Yeah, they do. They'll have like in karate, they'll have like the ring.
Similar, same as like
and they'll have like
wrestling.
they'll have like usually a big screens. Before when there was like analog, they'd have like flip cards and whatever. But now they have like a.
Oh, you don't use the flip cards anymore?
No, they have like a big screen and it's all electronic. And then they'll have like another TV usually. If it's a big tournament, they'll have like another TV that the crowd sees.
Yeah.
And so then
it'll have like clock
how
in
much
the middle,
time,
and then
how many penalties,
points.
like advantages, and then points and all that stuff. And then. Like I think every fighter tries to use the time and the score to your advantage.
Like when you know you're leading, you try and sort of like.
Well, they have their own tactics. Like maybe like Makun would be, like he'll score and then he's gonna keep going, score more points, right? He wants to keep attacking maybe, and then other guys will be score and they're very defensive,
right?
Like a lot of and then just maybe. Sometimes that's cultural. Like, how does your country like view like what strategies do we do? Dojo, personality, and so that you'll have different and athletes are the best at learning how to take advantage of the rules, right? Like, what are the current rules and what can I get away with?
Right.
And then some people like they'll look down on that. Like some athletes will be like, "Oh, that's bad. That's not good spirit." Other people they don't care. They just want to win.
I mean, there's so many different.
There's just different
approaches,
things. Like just different approaches. But yeah, for myself, I was, I had kind of stay in the moment. Again, it was different because Makun probably did like hundreds of tournaments, like a lot of tournaments in Japan. There's just availability in Alberta.
Right.
I could do 3 tournaments really a year when I was coming up. Then I could go do 2 to 3 in BC, and then nationals. So like. I would do like 6 in a year, and then you go to the biggest one where you have to qualify.
Right.
And sometimes if there was not many good people, I didn't get to fight very many quality matches. So you go to nationals and you have to be really strong every match. Like it makes you more nervous.
Right.
Because of what if I mess up? And then, like with some, like in Europe, they'll compete every 2 weeks. Japan, they can compete whenever they want. There's going to always be good fights.
Like every weekend or like.
If you wanted to.
Really?
Yeah.
If you want to, for sure, you can compete every weekend. Yeah.
Well, we're getting close to the end here.
Yeah.
It's been really great chatting with you, Makun. Where, I guess, let's just like give us a little bit of where like people can find you if they go to Japan and like what your dojo name and stuff is. And
like your dojo name and Instagram. Name?
My dojo is Shindokai. Yeah, and my gym is Nishiuchi Gym, and out of Japan.
Yeah. Team Arrow was it?
And Turtle Maku. Yeah.
Turtle Maku.
Maku.
And my dojo is Shindokai. Yeah, I have Instagram. Yeah.
And it's in Miyazaki.
So, Shindokai is SHINDOKAI. So that's Shindokai. And that's their like style and the dojo name. Yeah.
And then obviously Adam.
Ippon Karate Dojo, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And we're in Cochrane, Alberta, little Cochrane, Alberta. That's 18 years now. This year was 18 years. So,
Congrats.
Yeah.
And what about you?
Well, we all know my handles already.
In the club, bottle full of bub.
they're all different, so you'll see it in the caption or description.
Yeah. Well, anyways, it's been great chatting with you guys. It was nice going out with you this week, couple times.
Oh, you didn't get to go to karaoke. You missed out.
No, I know it was a date night, but it was a good. I got to see
we had a date night too.
He got to see the aftermath.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, it was good. All right, guys. Great. Well, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Peace up. A-Town down.